Lots of sports always happening, and that's why you got to tune in to the average. The most average of sports shows is the average sports with Eric and Ty.
What's up?
I'm working here. I'm trying to do something. I think that was about as average of an intro we could do as well. Yeah. You give me at least a B- on that?
Nah, man. C.
Oh,
hard C.
Hard. Yeah, well, that is average. That's what we're always striving for on this show. If you guys haven't tuned in before, we're just going to take you through some of the latest in headlines and all things sports, including what's more mainly going on through the country. So let's just jump right into it. You know what we're not talking about, though, is any frickin' football. It's just not the time right now.
No
Tom Brady, no Belichick, no Alabama, none of it. All right, so enough of that. Did you see, though, by the way, I know I don't know how much baseball you've been watching. The Rockies in the NL West have moved into first place.
That is crazy, man.
That's the same division with the Dodgers, who are below 500
I mean,
right now.
the Dodgers have been struggling, man. They have been bit super hard by the injury bug. They are going to have a really tough time coming out of that.
So I like the West right now, and I know we're going to talk about more about baseball. What have you seen in sports?
The thing that I saw, you're going to be surprised by this, but Webb Simpson, the winner of the Players' Championship, his bunker shot on 11 was absolutely insane.
What happened?
I've been trying to watch a little bit more golf, just some of the majors, because I typically don't watch it. And I was watching it on Saturday, and he was in this bunker. It was far away from the hole, so it was on the backside of the green, and the hole was a very front location. Chipped it out of the bunker, and it was like 9,900 feet, I think is what they said it officially was, and just beautifully done all the way into the hole. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. That was insane. What a great shot. If you haven't seen it, look up the highlight, Webb Simpson's bunker shot on 11 for the Players.
Right, man. All right. Well, let's get into our topic of the show, looking at the biggest, by far, headline in sports, because it's been in the news itself, the general news, is the legal sports betting that is being now adopted, at least the Supreme Court, right? It's saying that any state now can open up lines of making sports betting. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this overall. I think this is a really good move.
You're gonna break out a couple bucks here and there and make some plays?
I don't know that I'm going to be the one that's actually gambling, but as an overall, you can pretty much bet on sports anywhere else in the world but here. And it's going to follow a similar line to the legalization of marijuana, where it's completely left up to the states, and the states are going to do what they want with it. Missouri being a big one that is absolutely working on it right now to push forward legislation to get this done and taken care of. There's a ton of casinos, as you know, growing up here in this area, right here in the St. Louis area itself. And they are absolutely going to be moving this forward to try and allow for sports betting. I think what's going to be interesting about this is how they're going to do it. Are they going to just take bets at casinos? Are they just going to take them? Are they going to have just specific places that open up that just take sports bets, things like that? Are they going to do it a little bit more horse racing style, where you can bet at the game? And
that would be interesting, right? If you
I think that would be super interesting.
Lines forming at any stadium where you can just make some, especially if you wanted to go, seventh inning. Well, the beer line's closed, but you could make a prop bet right now. And how many pitches are going to be thrown by the visiting team? That could be a very dangerous thing because that would sound like a lot of fun. First of all, but I got extra $10 cash. I can just burn this right now. Try to turn it into 20 by making a very stupid bet. I'm very interested to see how it goes. I am more of an optimist myself, and I feel like anytime society has this opportunity of demonstrating that they can handle a responsibility like this, I think they usually do. And being out in Colorado for the last 10 years myself, seeing the legalization, as you made the parallel with marijuana coming out and being so well adopted here, the state is making millions upon millions of dollars in tax revenue that it would be hard to say no to. So I feel like we could see a lot of good incentive for states at least embracing this new legislation, and we'll see where it goes from there. I do plan on making a couple bets here and there, as long as it's I think the convenience of it, not knowing really where to do it elsewhere, except for some websites online that I'm not so crazy about, because I would rather it be local and getting to talk to someone, because I've gone to pony races. Betting at the horse track is fun. $2, whatever, minimum. You have to go watch the horses run. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you. I think there's a lot of huge benefits to this, in particular, a place like Missouri that has a lot of road issues and education issues. And many other states are gonna have the same things. Colorado itself has a lot of road issues itself, just because of the climate and the weather and the amount of salt that they have to use. The roads deteriorate much quicker, and you got to pay for it somehow. And this is a really good opportunity to help boost things like education or public transportation, things like that, to really take it to the next level. And just a small little kind of side conversation here. One of the things I've been hearing that's kind of been that tangent, so to speak, for this has been specifically the Las Vegas Knights. The bets that the casinos have been taking on them at 500 to 1. I can't. That is just ridiculous.
Yeah, Vegas is sweating a little bit on that one. That's going to be a big loss, because
you're talking about a $20 bet is paying $10,000.
Yeah. How many of those were made too?
Yeah,
I'd love to see the numbers on it.
People that just went and that live there and this is our first sports franchise. Let's go have some fun. We'll bet a little bit of money. $20 if they win the Stanley Cup at 500 to 1 that they were paying out, it's $10,000. They were still like 250 to 1 midway through the season. That's ridiculous that they got this so wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong.
It does show that Vegas isn't going to always get it right either. So it gives you that maybe false hope of, I got to hit that next 500 to 1. I mean, it is a long shot. And it's not a long shot so much anymore, but it's not also a done deal. There's no guarantee.
No, it's not a done deal. I mean, it is a Stanley Cup final, so it is going to be a fight, even though Vegas has seemed to kind of roll right through everybody and not really seem to have an issue anyway. So
well, let's take that into our next conversation. We want to talk about some good matchups that are coming and what would be seen as a must-win in all of sports right now. Who could you define?
This is going to be, how you have your thing about putting the records on the screen there.
It's not a little thing, Eric. That is a serious. You do not.
This is mine.
Yes.
This is mine, because I have heard it every single game after the conference finals. Some stupid person like Stephen A. Smith spouting his mouth off. Game 2 is a must-win for this team.
Sure.
If they lose this game, it is over.
Sure.
Yo, man, you said that. He said that about Cleveland. And now it is a 2-2 series.
Yep.
I can't stand. Not everything is a must-win or a must-win. I am so hot about this topic. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Well, clearly they do it. Any TV personality is doing it to drive that interest, right? ESPN ratings alone have been going down. Anyone who's paid close enough attention knows that ESPN has been operating more at a loss than actually of being a profitable business in the last 5 years or so. They need those people to be hype guys, get you animated like this. I agree. I see where you're coming from, and so that's why I like this conversation, though, too. I want to throw out there, go a little bit off from a must-win with like a Game 7 or the playoffs. Obviously, I want to say Houston. Those are kind of must-win games as you go into it, but that plays into your point on Stephen A., that it is a 7-game series. They will still have another chance to win the series, but surely if you go down 3-2, it's going to be a lot harder. But anyway, for me, my must-wins are the Cincinnati Reds. They've been playing some hotter baseball right now. They've even beat Pittsburgh tonight, who's sitting at the top of the division. I'm going with the Reds because it is clear that the Central is almost decided by not including them. Let me rephrase that. it is decided that they are not in the race. They're not contending at all. But if they actually turn it around and maybe they go on a 10-game win streak. They're all of a sudden now seriously in conversation for saving their season. But otherwise, you can easily look at a team like that and say, no chance. However, you're still looking at Central. Look who else is in there. That in mind, Eric, who you got as a must-win right now for matchups?
For matchups. I'm going to take it to, I want to see what happens in Game 5. Game 5 winners, and I'm specifically talking about Cleveland and Boston. Boston has not lost at home this playoff series. So at some point, Cleveland is going to have to win in Boston, either Game 5 or Game 7, if they are going to take this series.
Yeah.
Boston plays terrible on the road, but because they have home court advantage, they get the opportunity to play at home, and they have been dominant at home. They have not lost a game all playoff season. So one of those two is going to be a must-win. If Cleveland is going to do it, I think they have to do it at Game 5. That gives them the best opportunity to go home and finish it up. But LeBron in a Game 7 has been quite dynamic over the last couple of years. So
no doubt.
If they took that to a Game 7, is an incredibly young team in Boston ready to take on LeBron James in a Game 7, an actual, for sure, 100% must win.
Okay.
I don't know. So
he's laying it out there. You're intense tonight, Eric.
I'm intense,
anyway,
man.
Well,
Energy
that's
up.
obviously one of the best games to watch. Anything in the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, that's my favorite matchup going on right now is the Golden State and Houston. But let's clear up some of the standings. For our standings of the episode, we're going to just, in case anyone has been watching on what's happening with the NBA playoffs, I'll take the NBA and I'll toss things over to you, Eric, on the NHL. We're going to do a little twofer. But going on right now, you're looking at the Houston Rockets keeping it a tight game for Game 4, but Golden State's still up 2-1. And we're watching this on Tuesday night for Game 4. It's 85-84. I mean,
it's a one-point game right now.
So if they steal that one away from Golden State, you really got a series on your hands. And then Boston and Cleveland, it's 2-2, as you mentioned. And so getting pretty exciting in that one as well. How's the NHL looking?
Yeah, so the NHL, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which we already touched on a little bit earlier, completely steamrolled the Winnipeg Jets after Game 1 when they got punched in the mouth pretty hard.
Seriously,
they got hit real hard in Game 1, and they said, "Yeah, you know what? We're going to go ahead and show up the rest of this."
They are as dominant as ever.
They
are all of hockey right now. Yeah.
They are incredibly dominant. It is incredible to watch them play right now. So over in the East side, we have a Game 7. It is the two best words in sports, and it is the Capitals and the Lightning going to a Game 7. So definitely make sure you tune in for that, because then we get to see who Vegas gets to play in the Stanley Cup Finals, and that brings us to the end.
And if anyone does miss those games, we're going to talk about it. We'll fill you in on what you missed. We want this to be a good resource for those who don't always put on sports. Like, I didn't watch the Players Tournament whatsoever.
I got your back, Ty.
You got me, Eric.
Got your back.
That's going to do it for our show, though. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Average Sports. It was another edition with Eric and Ty, and I hope you guys join us next time.
Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. We'll see you guys next time. You can always send us your thoughts or show ideas at avgsportsguys with an S at gmail.com.
See you guys.